Today I'm gonna try to write poems in under 3 minutes. Let's go. And you can't change the word. Where was I going with that? This was so fun. This one was so fun. Like, should I start like a new story, a story about this? We are agreeing right now. That would be so cute. That would be so good. That would be so fun. He felt her. He was entertained just watching her do nothing, he realized. This is a little writing challenge that I came up with. Now, I don't know if there is like a similar writing challenge like this. I haven't seen it. This is just a little fun idea I came up with just randomly. I thought it'd be fun since I'm a writer. I was like, why not just practice writing from time to time a bit in this way. And so how this is gonna go is that there are mainly 3 rounds, but you can do 4 or 5, like how many you want. But why I'm saying 3 is because we're gonna generate random words in 3 categories or 4. So the categories are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And so in this category, say we start with the nouns. Then you go to a random noun generator, search it up, and then you generate a random word. And as you do that, as you click on a button, at the same time you start a timer on 3 minutes. And then the first minute of those 3 minutes, you just think. You do not write, you just think, and you can write down some notes while you're thinking. Then when 1 minute has passed, you start writing in those remaining 2 minutes. So the word that you generated, you have to write about that. And you just write. You gotta at least get something out. And so I have the rules written out. I'm gonna show you in a sec. That's basically the challenge, and you do that for all the categories. You gotta force the creativity out of you. That's like the purpose of this challenge. You gotta force the creativity, even when this is like the most cringiest thing you've ever written or thought of. You just gotta write it if that's the only thing that comes to mind. This is not meant to be finished or edited or anything. You just leave it as it is. Then I put some words in parentheses, if, like, this is how it would be if it was edited. And leave it unfinished, bad, cringy, embarrassing, whatever it is, you're gonna leave it like that. It's a challenge for a reason, and it's just for practice. Okay, so I came back inside. It was too windy outside. I hope I've explained everything so it makes sense. 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 categories. Today it's gonna be 4 categories. Each of them is around nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Random word in each of those. 3 minutes, 1 minute thinking, 2 minute writing. Then no editing. Gotta write about that word only. Yeah, you can mention it or not mention it. It's your choice. We're gonna go through actually the rules. So I tried this out. So I have 4 poems and I'm gonna read them at the end of the video. So stick around to see. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it. Maybe 3 in 3, because like 3 rounds in 3 minutes, like each of them in 3 minutes, like mainly 3 rounds, because nouns, adjectives, and verbs, which are 3 categories, each of them in 3 minutes. So the warning says, everything said in these poems will not always make sense. Yes, the ideas are thought of in 1 minute and maybe simultaneously as it's being written, so it's probably not gonna contain the deepest messages, and if it is, they're not gonna be conveyed in the best way, but that's not the point of this. You got it? You got it. Because this is only a practice, a draft that will never be edited, so it's not a finished thing. Wrong grammar, poor word choices, uneven structure, weak descriptions, or no point being made is not to worry about. The purpose is to just practice writing and get your creative engine working. Can I read through the rules? Write about the word you're given. Simple. Not write more than 2 minutes, even if you're finished thinking in under 1 minute. So even if you're done thinking at like 2 minutes and 40 seconds, then you gotta wait for the 40 seconds to be up. Maybe take some notes, maybe keep on thinking, plan out the structure. No, it's just better for you. You have that extra time. Don't judge yourself during the thinking and writing process. Very important, or else you're not gonna get anything out if you're constantly trying to make this poem perfect when it's not supposed to be perfect. Another rule, have fun. You gotta have fun. You gotta have to try at least. get anything out, literally just write anything that comes to mind, even if it's bad, cringe, or embarrassing. The first category is nouns. Guys, you can do this with me. This is gonna be fun, okay? A little writing with my besties. Yeah. Okay. Don't be nervous, guys. Just gotta pull up the timer. Oopsie. No cheating here, guys. No cheating. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Generate. Okay. No, started. Icicle. Okay. Just taking notes. Okay, the writing starts now. 2 minutes. Is this 2 minutes? Why is it so long? We're done with the first round. I didn't have the best idea for this word actually, so it's mostly just descriptions, and I wrote some notes and just wrote like anything that literally came to mind. And what came to mind in this category in this round was just a description, and like you just I'm just basically describing what an icicle is in a bit metaphorical way throughout, a bit towards the end of the poem. Like, it's your choice how you decide to write about the word. You know, you can write a description through a person's POV, third POV, first person POV, or like from like a scene happening. Like, you can write it in any way, and I think it's fun to write in those different ways because it creates variety, and writing in different ways is just better practice for you. And I feel like this round, the 2 minutes felt very long, maybe because I didn't have anything to write about. We're gonna move on to the next category, which is verbs. You need to go in a specific order. This is just a random order. You can take a little break, let your mind take a break a bit. I'm gonna read through them at the end. 3, 2, 1. No. And you can't change the word. I think we're gonna add a rule that you can generate at most 3 times, okay? And I got spray. Yeah, what do you... Oh my god. Okay, starting the writing. Okay, that last sentence was out of the time, after the time had ended, so I'm not gonna include that. I'm just gonna put it in a parenthesis. But yeah, that was the verb. I had, at first you could see the panic. The panic was a bit increasing as the clock was ticking, because what am I gonna write with spray? But that's the thing, you don't always know what you're gonna write until it can come to you suddenly. And even if it doesn't come to you, you just gotta work with what you have. So this time I decided to write a scene, and what I mean by that is like maybe 2 people in a scene. There could be dialogue, and that's even more fun. But this time I didn't have dialogue. It just, something had happened, spraying water on each other. So the spraying is there. That's the spraying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was so happy when I came up with that. Yes. Thought process is like, okay, what do you spray with? Hairspray, like, yeah, pepper spray. Then I don't know how it came to me, like water, spraying water. So I was like, ah. But it can also help just brainstorming very quick, like what what is spraying? Like, as I said, spray. What do you spray with? These, like you mentioned all the things, and then maybe try to make something out of one of those. Also, what can help is not just brainstorming out the word, some things that has to do with the word, but also how you're gonna write the poem. So as I said, are you gonna write a scene, a description, first person POV, third person POV, like a dialogue scene. So choosing that can also activate some type of brainstorming. I'm actually excited for the adverbs, but next one is adjectives. So with adjective, you can also think of the type of category. The type of category can help. So if it's an adjective, you could like easily write a descriptive scene, a descriptive poem, if you will, like describing something. So like say the word is mature. Okay, what is mature? Who is mature? You could write a random person that is mature, describing a person that is mature, like something that's to do with that word. I have no idea what that means. Curvy, you could write something that's curvy. You could write something that's ahead, like have a bit fun with it. Like it doesn't have to make sense in the moment and doesn't really have to make sense at all. Just write whatever. 3, 2, 1, randomize. No, I don't know what. Guys, I think we're gonna add a rule that you can generate at least, no, at most 3 times, okay? Okay? We are agreeing right now. Try to stick with one generator. I just don't know what proper one, like, you get what I mean? Okay. Try to stick with one. One. I really wanted to get that last line. Oh, I really rushed through this to make my point. But it was unfortunately, the time went out before I could write it out, so it's gonna have to stay in a parenthesis. But I actually, oh my god, this was so fun. This one was so fun. The word was neglected. The category was adjective, and I basically wrote like a scene. This time I had a purpose with it. Like, so as I wrote, I had the message thought out. So I tried to really, really quickly write it out and get my message across with the last line, and I barely made it. No, I didn't make it. Even throughout the poem, I hope it's like kind of visible what I'm trying to get at. You can sense the message. We're gonna move on to the last and final round, which is adverbs. Water break, water break. Don't forget your water. Okay, 3, 2, 1. OMG. We're done. I'm done. Oh my god, this was fun. This one was fun. It was like a new idea. This is a new type of idea, so I don't exactly have the vocabulary for this type of work. So I wrote about like a seamstress and I thought about those old Korean things. Like I watched a K-drama and this person, I think they were a seamstress, having all these fabrics laid out and picking them and sewing clothes and like traditional clothes and all that. So I was like with different materials and patterns, and I liked that. So I wrote about it, and it's very new. Like I was like, ooh, this is new and I like it. See, like guys, you can find so many new things that you like to write about if you just try, even if it's the first, like even if you're scared that it's not gonna be good because it's the first time and you've never done it, you're gonna have to do it. There's always gonna be a first time for everything. So there's always gonna be a first time for anything that you write. And this was my first time writing about something like this. And yeah, now the part we've all been waiting for. Time to read through our poems. Okay, so if y'all remember, the first category was noun and my word was icicle. Its single point is sharp, its color transparent. It arrives during cold days. It glitters when the rays of the sun hits them, going right through them. They may hang in rows or alone, with broken ones perhaps, where the echoes of their friends' place once was. Full, sharp, and big behind them. No, beside, I think I meant to write beside them. Full, sharp, and big beside them on the edge, hanging together until the hand of an excited child pulls it off in a haste or gets hit by the wind. Yes, I like it. It's not the best, obviously, but it's a description of an icicle. The second category is a verb, and the word I got was spray. And in this one, I wrote a scene, try to. So, the sun was scorching hot, the wind faint, the grass was glittering under drops of water. The water came from two siblings playing on the yard with a sprinkler, turning it to different modes, spraying each other wet. Their laughs and screams could be heard all the way to distant neighbors. It was refreshing. Parenthesis, not cold in the slightest. Yes. It was pretty short, but I think I got at least what I wanted in the few lines that I managed to write out. The third category, and the last of the main three, is an adjective, and I got neglected. And this one is like a scene. And here I actually managed to come up with a message, as I said. The little girl went up to her mom. She had something in her face, something in her hands which made her distracted, eyes wide on something other than her daughter, replying with a weak nod, not hearing the words the daughter said. She went to her dad, also something in his face, his hands, a bright light on his face, eyes fixated on something other than his daughter, like mom. Her brother, sister, same thing. She went outside, to the bees, flowers, and trees, sat down, felt the light on her face from the sun, and she sighed, breathed in the air, and it felt lighter. I think I can end it there actually, like removing the being neglected allowed her to find this. It can already say a lot with that last line, and it felt lighter. You see the change of tone, like from the beginning of the poem to the last part, you can see that change, I hope. But I feel like I can see that. Towards the end, I try to write out how she felt, and that kind of conveys the message indirectly, because she felt lighter, and that's kind of the message, being neglected allowed her to find this calm and this peace and solitude, and the peace you can feel in solitude. Sure, it's not nice to be neglected, but that allows you to go outside and find peace in your solitude. And also the difference in her family being stuck on the phone, because that's what I indirectly try to tell, that they were doing their phone as as the girl was trying to speak with them, they were distracted by the phone. Where was I going with that? So yeah, showing the difference that they were distracted with the phone, and she wanted to connect with them, she wanted to speak to them, but they were so distracted that instead she went outside. And that difference is like, not difference, but it shows that we're really stuck on screens in our time, and we have to basically go outside more. Yeah, we're like not comfortable being alone, but it happens that you get distracted with the phone, and it can ruin your relationships, and you lose finding that depth in your relationships, because like you look more at the screen than your daughter or your friend or the person that is trying to speak to you. So you lose that connection, that deeper connection. While as when you go outside, it grounds you, can bring you that peace, can bring you some fresh air into your body, to your mind, to your soul. Just, yeah, good. Without a screen, going on a walk with someone you can deepen your relationship with, like that. The last and fourth category, which is like a +1, or it can be like 4 categories, if you will. And this one was like a scene from a first person POV, and it goes like this. I went up and immediately explained the seamstress my order, the fabrics and materials I needed, their lengths and sizes and colors, exactly. And she did exactly that. She moved through her workplace so elegantly, worked so wonderfully calm in her bubble, the way her small hands picked out the big pieces of fabric, It's like she was floating, stepping lightly on the wooden floor panels, feet knowing exactly where to go. It was all a wonderful it was all a wonderful scene. To watch it may be something ordinary for many, going unnoticed for maybe everyone. But me. Maybe we could add that. Like that would be good. Going unnoticed for maybe everyone. But me. OMG. Am I like should I start like a new story? Write a story about this? A seamstress and the guy, a rich man falling in love with a seamstress. Ooh. Something like that. Make this into a story, like that would be so cute. That would be so good. That would be so fun. But not right now. But that would be so fun to write about. I love this. I love this. I love this. Why did this eat? That this actually ate. That was it, basically. Those were the poems that I managed to write in 3 minutes only. Or well, under 3 minutes, actually. And it's what I got. I often get called sensitive. I didn't know what it meant. Sensitive towards harsh words, emotional situations, moments no one but me would be visibly affected by. It feels lonely. I often wondered, is being sensitive being weak? Is sensitivity weakness? I realized it wasn't. I had a sensitive heart, but not a weak one. I could be sensitive and didn't hide that. I didn't pressure myself to hide it in front of anyone or myself. So isn't that strength? Yeah, yeah. She kind of ate though. She kind of ate. Yeah, as you can see, I try to convey a message here as well. Next type of word was a noun, and the word I got was fairy. I was like so happy when I got the word fairy. Yeah, 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 yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I had walked into a dream made out of glitter. Yeah, okay. With people that didn't look like people or like normal people. Whoever I laid my eyes upon, they were glowing with beauty. It was like the particles around them were small stars, transparent wings of different colors, sharp eyes of the colors of the rainbow, their voices unexceptionally different in tone. And then the time ran out, and I was just gonna continue the description. Next type of word, the next category is an adjective, and the word I got was fresh. This one was kind of like, what do I write? But even in those few lines, I think I got good description in them. I got like a lot of description in one line. So like, even if it's short, that's like okay. Stepping out from the shower with a drowning smell of strawberries and vanilla, skin fresh and updated and back to a clean state, teeth brushed, face washed, a beautiful outfit with perfume it smells like the sweet smell of a young morning, with accessories glittering on ears and wrists, the day ahead would now be looked forward to. Very actually I actually got like an ending on this one. Like I actually tied it up. The last category was a verb, and the word I got was she tried everything to entertain him. He was anxious for the exam he was about to have, and she wanted to see him smile. Not worry too much, but that's all he could do at the moment. She tries everything she could think of, make funny faces, tell him jokes, do cartwheels, tell him a fun story, but nothing worked. He didn't smile, he just frowned even deeper. She got tired, quiet, sat still and sighed. He looked at her then. I wanted to add then. He looked at her, and his mind seemed to be drifting away, watching her sit there, do nothing, and just be alive. He felt her. He was entertained just watching her do nothing, he realized. The word I got was entertain. It's a little fun writing challenge. I hope you try this out and finds it like beneficial and fun, you know? I recommend trying it out. Doesn't take long. Very easy, fun, simple challenge. As I said, not sure if anyone else has done this. If there's a similar one out there. I don't know. But yeah, this was fun. I had fun. I hope you try it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah. Bye bye. What the heck was that? Oh my god, that was. I did not do that. Oh my god, I did not do that. Okay.